Good morning, anglers. This is Anglers 48, and welcome to the Anglers 48 show. What are we going to be talking about today, guys? Well, we're going to be talking about how the fishing trip go yesterday. Well, to start, today is Sunday, and it's supposed to be a windy day. It's supposed to be one of those days where, you know, it's not very, um, how should I say, kayak worthy type of trip. But nonetheless, I did go fishing Saturday, and I went to the south side of town. On the south side, typically, I like to fan cast the shoreline. I did receive some news that my mother-in-law wasn't doing well, so I wasn't really feeling it. I did find out that she ended up getting a little bit better and was resting at home. So that was a consolation. But nonetheless, I was slinging that line out there. I took three poles. I was using the tandem rig. I was using the uh, the clutch minnow, and I was using the spoon and some top water baits. So no Tony. Tony was able to hook up with them, later on. But yeah, let me tell you about the trip. Since I was not gonna go that early, I decided to go to the south side. I know how busy and congested it gets on the north side of town. So I took off around maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. Took my time. Was able to get some pinfish there by the boat ramp. And when I got to town, all the way to Port Mansfield, I'm looking at palm trees. I'm looking at flags, and the flags were drooped. It was good. As soon as I got to Port Mansfield, I mean, I could tell that the wind was really bad. It was about 14 mile an hour, but it seemed that it was more than 14 mile an hour winds. So that's one of the things that I don't like. That if I get to Port Mansfield and it's very windy, I second guess myself, and I don't want to get that kayak in the water. So I waited until daybreak. I started seeing some anglers with their kayaks. They started unloading, and that motivated me to do the same. So once daybreak came, the winds somewhat subsided, and it wasn't as choppy as it was earlier. So that was a good thing. The sun was going to be out in full force, so that was also a positive. Um, I love fishing the south side simply because I don't have to worry about the congestion, right? These anglers that were there, they were headed south, and there was a point where I couldn't see them anymore. How far south they went, I'm not absolutely sure. So I was there, I was doing my thing. No live shrimp. I did try some live pinfish off a popping cork. That wasn't working. I wasn't getting any hits, no bites. There was minimal grass on the surface, so I didn't really have issues as far as getting snagged with grass. I did see some movement, not a whole lot of bait activity, but once again, the morning was beautiful. I didn't take any waders, so I was able to just you know, because usually when I have waders, and then you have a soft bottom, it's a little tough. So I was fan casting the tide. That's one of the things that is kind of interesting. In the months of January, February, and March, the tide is an issue, specifically for people who fish in SPI, Port Isabel, right? The tide is basically it affects anyone that wants to fish there in the bay. but not necessarily today. The water was, all the way to the bank, and which was a good thing. I was able to focus a little more on the shore, see if I can get some flounder. But no, I fished more or less like up to about maybe 9 o'clock, right? Fan casting, and again, no bites. It was, what can you say? I mean, you're there, right? You're out of the house, you're doing what you love. And I was debating whether to head to the sandbar. And normally that sandbar, when it's on fire, I mean, every cast is a hit, is a catch. But the kayak, once again, it's been doing really well. The repair that I made, it's held up. No water is getting into the hull. So I head to the sandbar. And once again, the good thing about the reception on my phone is I'm able to find it in case because once again, it's a large sandbar, but you can have trouble locating it, you know. So I was able to locate it. I got down, and once again, right there, I found out that the tide has come back. It's not a natural low tide anymore. You have your high and your low, but once again, that tide has basically disappeared. That severe low tide. So I started talking to some anglers on a boat. They were drifting. They hadn't caught anything, and there were about three or four of them. And you figure when you're drifting, you're bound to run into the trout, the red, and other fish. So they hadn't caught anything. So I continued, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's a short trip. I'm not gonna prolong it. I need to get back, right? Go see the in-law, see what's going on, see how she's doing. So I got on my kayak and I started rolling, right? I started rolling, going north. Winds were northeast. So and once again, it's a beautiful, no issues with the kayak as far as currents, things like that. I'm casting different lures, the spoon, nothing was working. And I tried the popping cork with the live piggy perch. They weren't hitting that either. So Tony, right? Tony and his buddy, they were at the same canal. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna cut my losses here. It's a beautiful day. I don't want to take off, but I'll swing by and see how they're doing, right? So I head back to the shore, and I'm running into these anglers. They're they're fishing there by the shoreline, and once again I greet them. How are you doing? And I'm like, I went all over the bay and I haven't caught anything. So they hadn't caught anything. They had just gotten there, right? So I loaded up the kayak and took off and went to go see my friend Tony. Tony was having much better luck than I was. He was in a few minutes he was able to land two catfish, and he still had about 3 hours of fishing to do. So freshwater fishing a lot more successful than saltwater fishing. What exactly is going on? Were they having success on the north side? Not absolutely sure. Maybe they were having success on the shore on the north side, but if I would have gotten there as usual a little earlier, I would have gotten to the spot right about 3 miles, north of town, and that's where I start my fishing, right? But that was okay. What are we looking forward to, guys? We're looking forward to some boating next week. Next week, we're gonna have. I'll be off Friday. I'll be off Monday for the Easter break, right? And we want to be able to go on Tony's boat back where I was catching those bull reds. Now I'm still gonna be taking those Mickey Mouse reels and rods. Still have that 12-pound test line. I still have that 10-pound test line, but I'm gonna go to that same spot, and we'll see if we can get some keepers. As good as the big ones are, normally the big heavy dudes, they're beaten and battered. They've had a rough life. The one that got away, that one looked really special. That one looked beautiful, and I lost it, but that's okay. So we're gonna go back there now. Launching the boat there on the south side can be kind of tricky. Tony's boat, as small as it is, the boat still doesn't touch the water, right? So we kind of have to rock it to get it in there. But the good thing is we're not waiting for other boaters to launch, right? So, in a sense, it's good because of that. Now, if we were to launch Tony's boat at where the harbor is, Tony can't really well manage the boat, and he can't really well go and park the the truck with the trailer. So, and then if you have people behind you, they're like, "Hey, dude, move out of the way," right? So, yeah, we don't want to do that. Where we're having to, move out of the way, and then to have to reset. I'm the one that drives the truck and the trailer. I'm the one that drives the boat. So, I'm telling my friend, "Come on, my friend, what do you want to do?" So, it's cool. It's fine. He calls me his chauffeur, and I'm cool with that. In whatever I can help my buddy, But we're happy launching it on the south side. I don't foresee there being any issues. As far as, I didn't see any duck hunters. That's when there's an issue during duck hunting season, during fowl season. A lot of airboats, right? One after another launching. They're on the south side. So it's one of those things where you gotta speed it up, whatever you're gonna do. And like today, now we don't see any of that stuff, so we can take our time, get the boat off the trailer, and get it out of the way. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. It's gonna either be Friday or Saturday, right? And we're excited on that. We're gonna continue to talk midweek, right? I told Tony we gotta talk midweek as to see what's gonna go on, and see what the biting is going on, man. Because I got skunked. Yeah, I got skunked. Tony, not him. He was able to get some catfish there, but nonetheless, everything is good. Everything is good. The in-law, my mother-in-law, she's not 100%, but it's a little dicey, and it'll happen. You have a fishing trip planned, families, they can get sick. There can be something. So I'm glad she's doing better. This morning, what did I do? I was able to turn on the tracker there, right there. I drove, took it out, started it for about 15 minutes, let it run, let water run through it, shifted the gears, and parked it back. And I was telling my dad about that, and he got a good chuckle. He got a good chuckle there. But that's okay. That's okay. Retirement. Tony is talking about his retirement. He says that every day is a Saturday. Well, good for you, my friend. Good for you. What about anglers? When am I going to retire? Well, it feels like I'm retired already, but work keeps me sane, if that makes any sense. Does work keep you sane? It keeps me sane, right? Because all week long, I look forward to going to fish. All week long, I'm planning, right? What lures am I going to use? What setup am I going to use? So really, the work week is what keeps me sane, and I'll have something to look forward to. Now, retirement, a possibility of retirement is maybe when my younger son finishes high school. My son is in middle school, right? And I told him that there's a chance that when he graduates, I'm done. Now, if it's one of those things where, it's the for tuition and all that stuff, then I may have to work a little longer to help him with that, right? But once again, for me, work is not really work. I love what I do, and yeah, the whole week, That's what I look forward to. I look forward to what am I gonna do over the weekend. It's my planning thing. So, and now I'm spending a lot of time behind the scenes, if you will, editing and cutting and doing different things, transferring files from one to the other. So that keeps me pretty busy. And then I'm having to just to work on the podcast and things that I'm going to be talking about. So as soon as I'm retired, I guess, I'll still try to keep busy, right? I'll still find myself doing something, right? Can't be fishing every day. It'd be nice, but yeah, that's pretty much what's going on, guys. Friday and Monday will be off, right? And the story is we're gonna go back over there. Um, the last time we were there, that's where it was a little dicey. I don't recall. I think we did have live stream that time. We did have some live stream, but what was working was um, skipjack. And once again, you can't catch skipjack with a cast net, right? So if we catch skipjack, right, in the process of catching, reds or whatever, that should be, you know, the key. So yeah. I want to say a couple of things. Check out Mr. Fishing with Leo. If they support his channel, he's selling merch already. When am I gonna be selling merchandise? Not yet. Once again, it'll be a while before Angler starts to come up with his stuff. But Fishing with Leo, he's got merch already. Some real nice caps. Check out my Facebook page, Anglers 48 Fishing Addict. If you want a cap, sure, he's got some very good deals. We got Jay Martinez leading the Outlaw Lures. So if you want any lures, those are really, really smoking right now. Those are some good lures. So check out my Facebook page for that, Jay Martinez. I believe he has a business in McAllen, right? Also, este, I don't want to butcher any names here, but they do have different raffles, right? Different raffles out there, just so that you can support the channel because it is kind of challenging getting out on the water. Specifically, if you have all kinds of este, obligations, right, if you will. Me on a personal note, it's not very easy for me to get out on the water. I need to make sure that I can afford to get out on the water. The channel is not monetizing just yet, and I'm looking forward to that one day. Right, I'm allowed to do merch, right, but at this time, I'm kind of biding my time. But yeah, nonetheless, I'll leave you with that, guys. Greatly appreciate you tagging along. Check out my YouTube channel, Anglers 48, if you haven't already. Also, I have that fishing group. I'm a member of about 15 of them. But if you want to join my fishing group, it's called Anglers 48 fishing addict, right? And yeah, just click join, and you can post your fishing pics, fishing videos, and any as the outdoor adventure, right? And yeah, greatly appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the support. I'm trying my best. Like I said, I don't just go and stand like a shadow just there. I try to move around. I try different lures, different baits. You know, like I go to the south side, and I know there's a possibility that I'm gonna get skunked, but I go because of the freedom that's out there, right? I've been pushing the north side, right? Because the north side is heavy duty. The north side of town is heavy duty. It's, that's the mecca. The north side of Port Mansfield, you know, you have a bigger chance of landing something. But I want to give an opportunity to those that are fishing. Also, I want to be able to have that relaxation, because that's meditation for me. That's relaxing. Even though I may not catch anything, I'm gonna move around and try different things and see what happens. What about freshwater? Am I gonna continue doing freshwater? Hopefully. Tony's pushing me to do freshwater, and this place. I asked my buddy Johnny. I asked him, "Where exactly is this place?" And he goes, "It's in the La Sara area." And he is familiar with La Sara, right? La Sara, I believe, is north of where we were fishing at, and there are many canals in Hidalgo and Willacy. That area is the Hidalgo, and my friend, he said that he saw many blowups. You know, I saw some blowups on my last adventure, but I just need to make my I need to invest in some heavy duty reels. That way, you know, these Mickey Mouse reels, they're not gonna cut it for fresh water. And then you have like 2 feet, sometimes 3 feet of an incline, right? It's one thing if the water is leveled, right? If the canal is filled to the top, right? You can just drag the fish out. But if there's a I mean, there's like 3 feet. How can you lift a dead weight fish up? Much less a fish that's gonna, you know, turn and do all these things in order to get loose. So, hey, Mr. Rick Luna, it's good to see you. Good to hear from you, my friend. That sounds like a plan. Now, next weekend, este next weekend, Rick, we're gonna go on Tony's boat, and we're gonna go go to the East Cut Islands, right? And we're gonna see if we can get some of those fish. The thing is with East Cut, I'm thinking, right? This is what I believe. There, it's gonna be just pure monsters, right? That's all you're gonna catch, pure monsters. I don't believe that you are gonna go and get a good sized red there. There's a chance, but I'm thinking that's put a big boy right there. That's what it is. I think that's all big boys. I cut two of them. I had two of them. One I lost. The other one I was able to reel in with 10-pound test, right? And the first one I lost because I wasn't organized. That darn net got stuck. And I was probably overexcited. But that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to move to a different spot, a little island. to see if we can catch some trout. Now, the thing is, if the thing is, Easter break is getting in the way. It's a double-edged sword, right? We have those extra times to be able to go, right? But we got to do the family thing. But you know what, Rick? I'll tell my friend Tony. And the thing is, he's a little iffy, right? As far as like, But if if we go, right, I'll let you know. That way you can go and try it out. You may wanna come prepared, and I'm sure you're one of those that always takes the necessary tools, because you need one of those things to pick up the fish. What if you catch a gar, right? Tony made one, and it was it was coming apart as he was pulling it up. So you know, I don't. And freshwater, I mean, it was beautiful out there, man. I was loving it. I was in heaven. But then again, I had already spent some time out there on the water. You know, I had done my thing, in Port Mansfield, and I was able to, for about 40 minutes, I just talked to the people there at the pier, and it was awesome just talking to the people there. And then I finally met up with Tony. I invited him to become a member of the Los Canaleros 956, but he's once again very reserved, and I'll tell him stories about Mark Villarreal and his team, right, and some of the other guys that are posting. But Rick, once again, I'll keep you updated, but on Messenger, if you want, I'll send you the link, right, and I'll tell you the specific area, right? If that's okay with you, But if you want to wait, so that when we go, because we want to do an overnighter, right? We want to do an overnighter where we're fishing a little bit in the evening, we fish overnight, and then we fish a little bit in the morning. You know what I mean? And obviously, right, you can hang around for however long you want. If you want to take off a little bit early, stay a little longer, it's up to you. But once again, if you are gonna be like, "Hey man, just give me the address on Messenger, I'll shoot it to you." And that's good. That's good, Rick. Because check this out. When I was when I was posting the video for freshwater, I got more likes, more people were interested. So that's where the attraction is, my friend. More people may be motivated and interested in freshwater. I catch a hard head, and I don't get a single view. We get a channel cat over here in freshwater, and the picture goes viral. It explodes on Facebook. So people are tuned in to fresh water, my friend, and that's something that you can. One of the things that gets me is, um, I like to get in the water, and I like to get wet, and it's very difficult to do that, right? It's more of the waiting game when you're out there on the canal. Now, if you're with friends and I mean, the ambience and all that, it makes it a lot more bearable. But yeah, I'm gonna close out, guys. Greatly appreciate you checking in. Those who did, and once again, Rick, if you want to message me for the address, that's fine. If not, I'll keep you updated whenever we go. I'll shoot you a message. Until next time, from far Texas, the Anglers 48 show, Anglers 48 signing off. Thanks for watching, guys.